Your Friday night Betfred Super League entertainment comes from Castleford, where newly installed head coach Andy Last no longer battles uncertainty over his future and can instead focus on the significant challenge of visiting Hull KR, third on the table after 9 rounds and closing in on their best ever start to a summer era season. Well, it's the Tigers' role to prevent that happening, specifically this 17 selected and prepared by Last. And it shows 5 changes to the team that went down to Salford in round 9. In come Mahe Fanua, Joe Westerman, Suai Matangi and Liam Watts, while Will Tate on loan at the Jungle may get a chance to show his parent club what they are missing. With star half Gareth Widdop out, there is another look at Jack Broadbent at standoff, a role he excelled in 3 weeks ago in France. Here's the Hull KR side, understandably. When you have won 4 in a row and injuries and suspensions haven't hit hard, change is kept to a minimum. James Batchelor comes back into the second row, pushing Dean Hadley, a man who received lavish praise from his coach recently, onto the bench in place of Frankie Holton. And coach Willie Peters has identified Paul McShane as a man for his side to keep an eye on. A lot goes through McShane when Castleford are ticking. It just hasn't happened all that often this year. And Lachlan Coote, of course, so important at the back for Hull KR. Well, the Robins, I should say, obviously go into this one as favourites, but you would feel John Wilkin and Phil Clark. For Castleford, the win is more important.
Yeah, it's massive. They need a win. They need a response. Andy Last has now got the job. He'd be expecting an emotional response, but I don't really think an emotional response is going to be good enough for Castleford here. I think they've got to produce a performance at a level which we've just not seen from them so far. And can they do that? I'm not sure. Under the scrutiny of what we've seen from Jordan Abdul this year, his kicking game, and the amount of pressure he's applying to teams with that facet of his game.
You have, though, heard from Willie Peters. He is aware an ambush may be on the cards here.
Yes, logic suggests Hull KR should win. They've beaten the 4 teams who made the semi-finals last year. Wigan, Leeds, Salford and St Helens already this season. But we're not talking about logic, we're talking about sport. In a village like Castleford here, where this home team have got great pride and have for almost 100 years that they've played on this ground. And I just get the feeling that we're in due for an absolute thriller on Sky Sports tonight. Castleford pushing Hull KR as far as they possibly can, and maybe even to victory, Brian.
Well, we are getting to that stage of the season. We're a third of the way through, and if Andy Last and Castleford are going to go where he wants them to go, which is knocking on the door of the playoffs, now is the time to start making a move.
Yeah, if you want to get anywhere near the playoffs, you've got to win this game. You've got to win tonight, and you've got to go on a run of wins.
Well, the Tigers will hope their season involves more than a battle at the bottom. With the leader now locked in at Castleford, the high-flying Robins are up first for new head coach of Castleford Tigers, Andy Last.
And they are in, and it's Morimo in again. Little step from Broadbent. McShane gets the first try of the night. Lawler trying to go on his own and does so. Little kick from Abdul, lovely try from Frankie Holton. Back in field to Coote. What a wonderful try from Hull KR. Lewis's pass, and Ryan Hall is in.
Well, there'll be a wall of noise when they emerge here at the Jungle. It is atmospheric, and there are plenty of Robin supporters in here hoping to see their side make it 5 in a row in Super League 2023. Here come the Cas Tigers, hoping for a much-needed win. This place will erupt. We'll go over to our commentary team to take you through this. Standing by are Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, and good evening, Bill Arthur.
Thank you, Brian. This is one of the most atmospheric of grounds on the circuit, and there is going to be some atmosphere here tonight. Hull KR supporters have travelled in big numbers for this one, and they are full of confidence with their side in third in the table after 4 wins in a row. They're looking to extend that at the home of the Tigers, with Castleford 10th in the table. They've only 2 wins to their name. But as coach Willie Peters said on Sky Sports ahead of this one, It is going to be a tough challenge for his side, regardless of where the Castleford Tigers are on the table. Marcus Griffiths is our referee here tonight. Chris Kendall is the video ref. It is cold. It has been wet. It is Castleford. Conditions are going to play a part, Barry.
Absolutely. We've had a very seasonal April shower about an hour ago, and that may well change the game in favour of the home side. As the lads said in the build-up, that back line, very big, very powerful, not the quickest in terms of speed, but what they've got to do is get over that advantage line, and Cas being a shorter ground, you end up being further down the field quicker than you'd like, and they're playing in an expansive way already.
Castleford Tigers in their yellow kits this evening. LKR travelling in their blue, which did lead to a bit of confusion pre-game in actual fact, because there was every risk of a colour clash. The Castleford Tigers were due to be in their customary black kits, and officialdom decided that it was too close for comfort, so the Castleford Tigers magnanimously, they weren't really obliged to, but they changed to this yellow kit. Miller will hoist the first kick of the night. It is a towering one, and Ryan Hall is comfortable underneath that one.
Well, kickers and catchers, we're going to see that pretty much all the way through the night with one of the best boots in the business in Jordan Abdul. And if the home side needs something just to tickle the nostalgia in the back of the brain, think back to that magnificent Challenge Cup final in 1986, where the Castleford Tigers wore a strip that looks remarkably like the one they're wearing this evening. Who did they play? Who did they defeat? Hull KR.
Well, it's Hull KR in possession. In the early stages of this game, of course, the Robins starting this season in great shape. And there we go, the first one from Abdul. Greg Eden is underneath it, and there is a sigh of relief in the Tigers' ranks.
Yeah, well, I was on the sideline before, and I was talking to the Hull KR coaching staff, and the rain started coming down. Greg Eden come on, and he thought, well, this is what I've got to get used to. I know what's going to come. And this Hull KR side, a lot of talk going into this game about how good they have been in attack, scored an average of 40 points in a game. I think this is a game for Cas in front of the home fans to stand up. Defeated last week against Salford, but I thought they were very good out wide defensively.
Here's Eden, and Eden getting the pass away to Faraimo. Faraimo taking him on the outside. He's brought down. He did have support, but he couldn't find his man.
Couldn't find it. Well, maybe a kick was in order. There was two players then pushing up in support.
Miller shaping to kick. They're going to go to the other flank to Jordan Turner. That's the fifth tackle. Just inside that Hull KR 10. McShane, it's Miller who will kick towards the posts. They'll climb for it and try and get that ball down, but Alex Miller couldn't do that. And Hull KR ultimately defending that well.
Yeah, what a good start, though. You know, 3 minutes, they got down the other end of the field. Brilliant kick. Alex Miller finds himself playing in the centre, comes up with the ball. They can't get over it and can't ground the ball, but this is where they're going to win the game. Some decent, strong attack and defence.
Tez, I don't mind Beretta Faraimo's decision to keep hold of that ball. I think they've got the advantage, they've played, and it's something that Andy Laster's spoken about during the week, expressing themselves, his side with the ability to play and pass without fear of getting it wrong, and it's a great start for the home team.
Alex Miller playing in the centres tonight, of course, still no Gareth Widdop, so Jack Broadbent in the halves. Mellors does bring height to that position. Meanwhile, pace from Matt Parcell. Now Abdul, and Abdul launches another one, and Eden comes across, and Eden gathers that one. But I tell you what, the thing that Hull KR have got to look at, if they're going to kick to Greg Eden, they've got to be prepared for Eden coming back at pace.
He's a magnificent returner of the ball, isn't he? His kick reception, I reckon he's had a nervous day. It's hard enough dealing with Jordan Abdul's kicks at the best of times, but with the greasiness, the rain, the drizzle, it's going to be like a bar of soap at times.
Set restart signals.
And that's where Maher Fanua's good, on the counter, bringing the ball back, busting through challenges, gets a set restart.
You saw the scoreline from Leigh Sports Village. The Leopards 6-0 up early on against the Rhinos. It's a jungle out there, I tell you. It's a jungle here. And it's 0-0. Here's the Tigers. Nice ball. Griffin taking the pass. McShane. Broadbent with the step. Is Westerman. Westerman almost finding a way through. Brought down just short. That's the 5th. And maybe a kick to come from Broadbent. Is he going to shape to kick? He doesn't. He brings Mahe Whenua back inside and he loses the ball. I mean, Beretta Faraimo, beg your pardon. He loses the ball.
Yeah. Well, it's a double drop-off. And Mikey Lewis is the man that's picked out. But he comes up with the right answer, doesn't he, on Beretta Faraimo? I know he's going to be physical. He said he might have been targeted when he was speaking to John Wells prior to the game.
I wonder what Beretta Faraimo's instinct is telling him. He wasn't at any point thinking, I'm going to run around or I'm going to break the tackle. He thinks, I'm going to break Mikey Lewis in half. He thinks I'm going to do some damage when I'm carrying that ball forward. Influential player Mikey Lewis will be for the Rovers tonight.
Yeah, he's not from the going round school of wingers, Beretta Faraimo. No. They've lost that ball. Turner couldn't gather the spoils, and first knock on, and it's going to be the Castleford Tigers ball, I think.
Yeah, well, they get the ball up. Some strong defence, some strong attack from Andy Lastman. Started with some real purpose. Good shot from Jacob Miller on Sean Kenny down. Look, he picks the half-back out. He's got some help on the inside from his bodyguard in Kenny Edwards.
Both teams ruck speed just a little bit.
And he knows that strong defence that's forced that error. Some good field position, and what a way to start the game.
Yeah, they've dominated the early proceedings of the Castleford Tigers. Had the bulk of possession territorially. They're in the ascendancy. Here is Mella then. He's tackled about 12 metres out. And 6 again, says the referee. Set restart signalled by Marcus Griffiths. So the game is flowing the Castleford Tigers' way at the moment. Can they capitalise on it? Here is McShane. Westerman again. Westerman pops the ball to Broadbent. Broadbent a little step. Had a great game in this position against the Catalan Dragons, did Jack Broadbent. Dictated the game for Castleford. That's what they want tonight. Miller, on it goes. And over the top. And out of play. And a golden opportunity. Turner's pass just too high.
Well, playing expansive, aren't they, Cass? They've got that field position. They're so dangerous. And we've seen them over the years, over on that left edge. How dangerous, how quick they are when they link together.
Just needed to angle back inside Greg Eden. If he cuts back... Andy Last is frustrated there. You know, there was a 3-on-2 created, and the fullback Greg Eden almost dragged that second defender in to the attackers.
They might rue that missed opportunity, the Castleford Tigers.
That's 2 now if you count the fact that Mella got held up over the line.
An opportunity for Hull KR to change the direction of the game. Here goes Mikey Lewis. Crackerjack of a player. Named in the England squad, one of 3 from this Hull KR side. Named by Sean Wayne for that game next Saturday. Doubleheader, of course, at the Hallowell Jones Stadium. Men's and women's teams in action against the French as Abdul hoists another kick. Ed Eden is safe underneath that one. Oof. Whenua takes the ball. The other factor that is, I think the wind is just picking up as well. Definite breeze blowing around the ground. So all in all, not great conditions.
You wouldn't want to be a fullback or a winger on a night like this. Again, that Faraimo and Mikey Lewis making the tackle. We'll see that a number of times, I think.
Here's Miller. Kenny Edwards has slipped the clutches. Now Edwards is away. He's looking for some support. He's got it. Infield from Miller. That was a bold pass. And he was glad to see Miller just get there in the nick of time. Here is Westerman. Lawler now. George Lawler, once of Hull KR, plays the ball on the last, and Miller, little kick into the corner. Coote is underneath it. Ball goes backwards. Miller will follow up, and Miller will get the first try of the night. No hesitation from the referee. The kick was contested, and Jacob Miller followed up to claim his second try of the season. And the Castleford Tigers get the reward they deserve for a really inspired opening to this game. Try under the sticks.
They deserve that, don't they, the Castleford Tigers? The early break and the early part of that set of 6. Kenny Edwards finds his half-back in support there. And it's Jacob Miller puts that kick high. And what they've got to do tonight, Castleford Tigers, is compete hard for everything, whether it's a bouncing ball, a mistake that's made, or a high kick and contest as it is. Jordan Turner bats it back in field. And he's had a massive involvement in the opening 10 minutes. Jacob Miller. He needed that type of involvement. He needed to stamp his authority on this game along with Paul McShane, and those two players specifically have done that already.
McShane with the conversion attempt from bang in front of the posts. McShane has 5 goals to his name so far this season. They haven't had too many tries to convert the Castleford Tigers, but they have on that one. And McShane has extended the lead 6 points to 0. Let's go down to the sidelines and hear from John Wells.
Yep, good evening, Bill. Well, we know what a threat Jordan Abdul is in attack, and so do Castleford. So a big part of their game plan, naturally, will be putting numbers around them. It's something Jordan spoke about pre-game, the footwork at the point of the catch, and it's done him an awful lot of work already for Jordan Abdul in defence. And what he has to do in defence, they're thinking the Castleford Tigers, they'll have less coming their way in attack.
Thanks, John. Jacob Miller.
If you want contact, I'd agree with you, pal.
With the try, ending a bit of a personal try drought after 8 games without crossing the whitewash. Meanwhile, crossing the whitewash at Lee, once again are the Leopards. They are ahead by 10 points to 0 against Leeds. Early stages there, early stages here. Coming up to 12 minutes, 6-0 to an enterprising Castleford Tigers side.
Well, again, a few set restarts, aren't they? And they're making Hull KR miss some tackles. Kenny Edwards then just kicks out. Then, as he hit Jordan Abdul, I think it is, who takes a tumble. Just playing a nice, simple game. Getting down the field. Oh, he's lost the ball. Well, that just shows how slippy these conditions are. Hit anywhere around the ball, a good chance you can force error.
First one, Castleford.
He's going to go back and give advantage to Hull KR. It was great work, wasn't it, from Elliot Minchella, who targets the ball. Advantage is played here. He's going to be good for Hull KR, isn't he, Corey Hall? Just finding his feet, and on this left side with Ryan Hall.
I think it's a great sign. He made his debut last week, didn't he? He was in the Super League Team of the Week. After just one appearance against Saints.
Onside. Shot clock off.
So Haddon feeds to Hull KR after that knock-on, almost a knock-on from Sean Kenny Dowell there. It is obviously, it's not a balmy early summer evening or anything like that here tonight. It's a definite chill in the air, and I suspect 1 or 2 people might have come slightly underprepared for this.
And that just shows you with the players just catching the ball, having a second go at them. If there's any aggressive sort of defence, there's a good chance you could force an error.
Well, it's the first opportunity, really, for Hull KR to put a bit of pressure on this Castleford Tigers defence as Rhys Kennedy will play the ball. Parcell. Here is Minchella now. Jordan Abdul, and the pass goes behind Coote. Miller trying his best to get to it. Castleford appealing for an offside there. I think that the ball came forward off Coote.
Go for.
Do you know, I'm with you, Bill? I thought he picked that ball up in an offside position.
Opicic.
Yeah.
But those are the things I was talking about. If there's a bouncing ball, if there's a mistake, Cass needs to be the first to get down on it.
Eden makes that here, so tell you what.
Yeah, well taken.
That will have given Andy Last a lot of confidence in his man, won't it? The start that Greg Eden has made.
Yeah. And Greg Eden himself, he can be, he's highly skilled, isn't he? Starts the games well, and anything can happen.
He's a confidence player, isn't it? If he's going right for him, he grows and grows and grows into his role in a game.
Westerman, Broadbent. Faraimo is through. He's looking for some support. Mellor is with him. Mellor couldn't get there. Faraimo couldn't get the pass away.
That was knocked out. I thought that was play on.
Well, the interpretation of the ref, Marcus Griffiths, must have been that it's a loose carry.
Well,
When Hull KR are trying to defend, look, they defend the break. A quick play, quick pass. Beretta Faraimo, he gets it. He's just looking for his teammates around. And then you can see Ryan Hall comes over the top.
That is play on. That's knocked out, that.
Well,
Ryan Hall using all that experience. If Alex Mellor picks that ball up and scores under the H's, I'm sure they'd go back and review that.
not to be.
It's the oldest one in the book. Play to the whistle.
And that's another opportunity for the Castleford Tigers. And a let-off for Hull KR, who come into this game in such confident mood after this run of form. The 4 victories in a row, the most recent of them against St Helens, the champions. Parcell, Elliot Minchella, Kennedy, a strong run from the 28-year-old prop forward. So they're in that corner now. Parcell, Coots, trying to find a way through himself. Good defence from Castleford Tigers there. Abdul kicks cross field. There's a bit of bumping and boring. It's gone forward from Corey Hall, I think it was.
Yeah, Jack Broadbent, well, what a good job he did. He just nudged somebody off the ball here, comes in, protects that line. And when he said Corey Hall just can't quite catch that ball.
That was a big opportunity, wasn't it? If he'd taken that.
Willie Peters will know that those sorts of players, they nail them, and they have been nailing them. Well, he's lost the ball there, Paul McShane. Yeah, strong defence again. They're fronting up. Both of these sides are fronting up in the right area of the field.
That was a bit of a mess from Castleford, wasn't it? That whole play the ball, really.
Bill, I think Paul McShane's playing for a penalty there. There's a bloke within the ruck there. He's deliberately tried to trip himself up. And that's another experienced player who knows I should just get on with my job in wet conditions here.
It's backfired on him, hasn't it?
Well, he gets the ball up there. Now, what he's got to do is make sure he keeps hold of it. He doesn't. Minchella hits him, drops the ball. Fair call from the ref.
So gifting possession to Hull KR in dangerous territory for the Castleford Tigers. Can the Robins capitalise? His King, a mainstay of the sides. King, ever present in all 9, is Minchella. Minchella gets the pass away. Lynette's brought down just shy of that Castleford Tigers line, and a big chance here for the Robins now. Is Minchella once more, straightens up towards those posts. 4 tackles gone. Castleford Tigers pinned to their own try line. Abdul, Mikey Lewis, little kick. Hall was pursuing it. Ryan Hall might have got another try, his 6th of the season. Did he get that ball down? Video ref Chris Kendall will look at this.
Okay, tackle for try. Pause the ball on the foot. Okay, everyone to the left is offside. There's a player offside to the right, but let's run it through. Yeah, the players on the right are going to be outside the 10, so we're just going to go straight to grounding, please.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll run that back, please. It's touched by Castleford first, but then there's a touch then by Hull KR. Okay, so it's touched backwards by Broadbent. It then hits Ryan Hall. There is then separation. He must then catch hold or regrip, which he doesn't. I'm happy I've viewed the angles. I have made my decision.
Marcus Griffiths gave a try on the field, but I think that shows that even the experienced Ryan Hall could not convert that into 4 points.
Well,
Do you know, Andy Last will be really happy with that effort from Jack Broadbent. You don't want to give too many invitations to Ryan Hall, but he does just enough, the youngster, to get rid of that ball. Ryan Hall can't just quite ground it.
And I think sometimes we get frustrated with the video referee. We all thought that that was a try when we watched it in real time, but until you watched it and slowed it down, Chris Kendall give us a really good explanation on why it was disallowed.
Ryan Hall, 5 tries to his name already this season, nearly number 6 there for the 35-year-old. Well, look at that. Lee Leopards and Edwin Ipape is making the headlines at Lee Sports Village, getting 2 tries already for his side as they lead by 16 points to 0. Meanwhile, a penalty here for the Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, first of all, there was a bit of a knock on it. It was a set restart. Then there's a penalty. Sean Kenny-Dowell on Greg Eden. Greg Eden just using his footwork, just unsettling Sean Kenny-Dowell. You can see he stamps and plants his feet, and he gets on the outside of him.
You're not as confident, I know it sounds obvious to say it, you're not as confident using that footwork, stepping on a greasy surface, but it's the only way Greg Eden knows how to play.
Just the 1 try in the game there, scored by Jacob Miller, converted by Paul McShane. 6-0, the Castleford Tigers lead coming up to the end of the first quarter of this contest. And here is Lawler, 103 appearances he made for the Robins. And now Westerman, 3 tackles gone. As Griffin plays the ball. There's Miller once more, and Miller trying to hit Kenny Edwards, and Edwards hit the ball, and the ball got away from him.
Yeah, he just tried to slow down the tempo of that play, didn't he? Tried to straighten it up, bin direct, isolate defenders, Jacob Miller, and then Kenny Edwards couldn't quite take it in. Trying to get him a one-on-one, the no-look pass. Again, setting up with Jordan Abdul.
And Jordan Abdul's just a little bit lethargic at the back of the play, the ball just over to the right there. He's had a lot of traffic run at him.
It's Kane Linnetz.
He's copped a couple of bumps, hasn't he?
Parcell. Good run from Matt Parcell, the hooker. He's only missed 1 game this season so far as Matt Parcell, but struggling to get to his feet there. Poke in the eye, I think. Here is Elliot Minchella. 5th tackle, and it's with Abdul. Abdul, bit more delicacy to this one. Eden claims that. Lewis was there to make the tackle. Good follow-up.
Yeah, might be
from the Robins.
Might be under some pressure, but he's getting some help as well from the players and teammates in front of him. Just trying to do enough to get in front of the on-rushing defenders.
Parcell still having treatment in back play. Here is Jordan Turner. 34 years of age now. Parcell back up on his feet. Mellor. 4 tackles gone. The Castleford Tigers still inside their own 30. Here's Miller now. Miller. Liam Watts is out there now. Another former Hull KR man. Miller will try and get some distance on this. It's Ryan Hall who comes to the ball, claims it, and then starts to run it back. Look at that. He's a wrecking ball, Hall.
Oh, safe as houses at the back, and then as soon as he catches it, all he's thinking is I'm going to run over somebody.
And the pass is not a good one after all that. Sean Kenny-Dowell trying to find Tom Opicic, but he found almost the front row of the stand there.
Well, I feel like Hull KR's skill is not matching up to the home side. The bravery and courage of Cass when they're attacking, and the skill is right up there. And you know, we talk about Ryan Hall, we talk about his tries, tackle busts, the meters he makes, but the evolution of that play, I can think back to the first grand final he played in 2008 for Leeds. He had no meat on his bones, skinny kid, played his rugby league at Ulton Raiders, came into the game relatively late, missed the scholarship and academy, and look at him now with all those miles on the clock, all those accolades at the back of him, but he's evolved into a really, really impressive specimen now over on this left flank for Hull KR.
So the possession is with Castleford Tigers again, and with Greg Eden. He got away with one there because that was a loose pass, but the Robins couldn't capitalise on it. Westerman, Liam Watts, another of the 30-somethings in this Castleford Tigers side. McShane has Lawler on his shoulder, has Westerman on his shoulder. Westerman able to offload. The ball is spilled.
Well, that's just overplaying, isn't it, George Lawler?
And here we go. There's a little bit of a skirmish, bit of frustration.
There's Adam Milner and Mikey Lewis pushing and shoving. We saw it a couple of weeks ago with Mikey Lewis, Justin Sangare. You see he gets Jack Broadbent in a headlock, takes him to ground. Jack Broadbent doesn't like it, and neither does Adam Milner, who comes in to protect him.
I tell you that, going back to that Ryan Hall run, the thing that was spectacular was the launch speed.
Yeah, it is.
You know, he caught that ball, and the power.
Within his first 3 steps, he's up to full pace, isn't he? And that acceleration, he's a wonderful professional. Came back from Australia with 1 or 2 doubts around his physical capability at this level, and I know his old club Leeds Rhinos had severe question marks, and look at him now. He's given great service to Hull KR and doesn't look anywhere near retiring.
That's a penalty. High shots. Big feisty out there.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you control your emotions, Bill. Adam Milner, well, he got involved with Mikey Lewis. Then on the back of that, they're looking to put down a marker in the set of 6 after. And unfortunately it goes high and gifts Hull KR 30 metres.
So penalty gives the Robins some momentum maybe to strike back. Here is Jordan Abdul.
George, get out! Back!
Tackled by McShane, Lawler in there as well. Matt Parcell is Minchella, Mikey Lewis. Corey Hall takes a big hit, but still gets the ball away to Ryan Hall. And the referee will penalise Castleford, I think, after that.
Yeah, has he been done for a late shot? Well, credit Corey Hall. Look, as soon as he passes it, he jumps up.
It didn't feel late in full speed. I don't think it's high, it's full-blooded.
Yeah, it's difficult for Frymore to pull out of that, isn't it? Look, he's committed, he's full on, isn't he, when he goes into that.
I do think now, and I mean, the focus is on player welfare and making sure there aren't too many head contacts. If a tackle or a challenge looks reckless,
well, if you
it's penalised for being reckless.
Yeah, you pull the trigger and you fly in at that speed, it's very difficult to stop.
Another penalty for Hull KR. Back-to-back penalties, in fact. Mikey Lewis's shirt coming apart at the seams. Here is Jordan Abdul. Abdul has Kane Lynette on his shoulder. Is that another penalty? It's 10 minutes. Somebody in the bin.
Well, Liam Watts it is. Not long onto the field. Like I said, Cass just looking to set down some markers. Pressure from the inside, the little nudge in his back.
It's a nudge.
Yeah, that's a penalty. It's no surprise he's gone to the sin bin for a yellow card. And I think you can track that back to the lack of skill and the mistake that Castleford made. We've congratulated their courage, their skill, their execution on a wet night, and over the last 2 or 3 minutes they've made some mistakes. Their brains are bubbling a little bit and they're trying to just even up accounts all over the place. People like Abdul and Mikey Lewis are just rattling cages at the minute.
Big chance this, big chance for Hull KR. Cass, a man down on their own try line. Here's Reece Kennedy. Kennedy, lanky front rower, and and luckily couldn't take the ball, and the Castleford Tigers players salute survival there. There's a long way to go yet. Kenny Edwards and Elliot Minchella involved.
It's a feisty old game, isn't it? Very lively. early on in this game. Yeah, look, the offload, he just switches off. Luckily, he's not expecting this from Kennedy. He's dropping to the ground. He can't quite get hold of it.
It's good work from Adam Milner. He's been around a couple of the things that haven't gone right for Cass. He's forced the error. You've got to keep calm heads around all the chaos when you're on the front foot.
Keep an eye on the Minchella-Edwards relationship. That is bubbling. Let's go down to the sideline here from John Wells.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Listen, it might be getting a bit tasty, a bit feisty out on the field, but it's certainly engaging this crowd, this large crowd at the Castleford Tigers. It's been a real feature this of 2023 so far, hasn't it? The fans have really bought in and come out in numbers to watch the 9 rounds we've had so far, and well into the 10th round now. Really good atmosphere. Let's just hope that the players can keep a lid on things on the field.
Set restart signals. And the Castleford Tigers, they will be mighty relieved after Liam Watts' sin binning and the pressure they were under.
Well, they've got, what, another 6 or 7 minutes to contend with as well, and what it'll do to them in the final few minutes of the half. That's a good carry from Lawler.
He's not the biggest number 8 going around, is he?
You can never question his commitment. Obviously, playing against his ex-side, he never needs motivation in a game. He's a player that turns up consistently.
Westerman across the fields. Broadbent tackled by Corey Hall.
5, move Sam!
2 former Leeds men involved there.
Go 5.
This is McShane. Here is Broadbent. Broadbent gets the kick away, was taken after he'd put the kick in by Minchella. The ball is still loose. Cooter's got it. And the referee says it was knocked on by the Castleford Tigers. That will be the turnover.
It's great work from Minchella, isn't it? Perfect technique.
I'll take it, thank you. Just go over there, please.
And they did everything they could, Cass Tigers, but there was a knock-on prior to that.
No tackle.
Here is Ryan Hall. Tried disallowed so far in the opening half hour of this game. Just the one score in favour of the home side. 6-0 they lead. The try from Miller converted by McShane, and Mikey Lewis. They know what a threat he is. He's been getting some attention. Matty Staunton just back after 2 games out. Staunton. Here is Parcell trying to sell him the dummy. That's the 5th tackle. Minchella. It's Abdul, and Abdul goes high. Way high. Eden underneath it again.
You know, that's a good set of 6, that. They were under pressure, weren't they? Just a couple of metres in front of the try line, then all of a sudden you get a good kick away. Some good low-risk plays, and now they're trying to pressure Cass here now, with Jordan Turner trying to find the ground.
I still want to see Cass pass that ball, use that ball, try and find some space at the edge. When your emotions start bubbling away, the tendency is to say, give me that ball and let me try and run over the top of someone. They've got to run in numbers, run with support, and use the ball when they can.
Here is somebody who'll run over the top for you, Mahe Fanua. Westerman will try and be a bit more subtle about it. His offload is always a threat. And they'll look for a 40-20, maybe, or just a kick to get some distance between their try line and Hull KR and Sean Kenny Dowell.
That was a good set, though, for Willie Peters' men defensively. Well, up against it again. Look at that line speed. Trying to be aggressive on Ryan Hall. And slow tackle one down. Corey Hall now just trying to quicken it up and get on the outside of Broadbent.
Second appearance for Hull KR for Corey Hall. Impressed on his debut against the Saints last week. Big hit on Kane Lynette. Milner putting his shoulder in there. Minchella now. Minchella to Abdul. Abdul on it goes to Coot. Coot weaving, trying to maybe look for somebody coming back on the inside. Nobody was there. It's Abdul. Abdul's shaped to kick. Abdul runs. It's Minchella. Abdul is still down. I think there was another late hit on Jordan Abdul there, and it's in the hands of Greg Eden.
No, it doesn't look like the ref's going back for that. You're right, Jordan. Abdul didn't get up. And you can see from the signal of the physio, he's saying head. He needs to go to the sideline. It's the big substitute, isn't it, Sam Hall?
Tackle 2, doctor's on.
The doctor's on. And he'll take a look.
It's one of those, I mean, it's a split second. A bit like the Faraimo tackle a few moments ago. And now McShane's in trouble.
In his defence, Sam Hall is doing his job. He's getting up, he's putting pressure on. And we don't know where the point of contact. We've just had one quick look, and the fact that Jordan Abdul has had to go to the sideline, there may be some collision and contact. But the worry for Cass is Paul McShane is integral to everything they do, isn't it? He looks like he's going to the sideline too.
Push forward or push him out, it'll be slow.
Another head injury assessment.
If you let them move, it'll be
Here you go, Bill. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't. There's almost a whiplash rather than a contact with the head.
Mate, you can go on at the back.
It's the first pause in this game, really, isn't it? Sort of time to catch your breath. There's only the one try and the goal, but it has been full on for the first 33 minutes. And the Castleford Tigers holding out with a man in the sin bin. Jordan Turner trying to wrestle himself free of Jez Litton, and in fact set restart is signalled. Here's Faraimo.
I think Will Tate's on against his former club, which will mean probably Adam Milner will go to the hooking role.
Move together! Hold. Go.
Will Tate making his debut. Here's Kenny Edwards now.
That's a good tackle, isn't it?
Hold.
Jez Litton picked him up and drove him back.
Play on, Dominic.
Jordan Turner makes a bit of ground.
Go for.
Now Kenny Edwards. Here's Miller. Westerman thought about the offload and they just managed to stifle it. Sam Luckley. Kane Lynette getting himself in the way. And on the last, Miller. Another big kick towards the corner where Coote is positioned and claims it does the Hull KR fullback.
Move, Jack! With me, Brad. Hold, mate.
A lot of experience at the back.
Go one.
Hasn't he? Lachlan Coote doesn't panic.
Two.
Doesn't give anything away.
Talking of the head knocks, I mean, Lachlan Coote going public saying, you know, he doesn't know whether he'll be going around next season because of the issues he's had.
Well, he's had a few this year. I think he had 3 concussions last year, didn't he?
That's right, yeah.
4
tackles gone.
Sorry, Bill, and the fact that the game picks those things up, it's never been as safe as it is now, Rugby League. He says.
As we see a big shot.
He says.
From Miller.
No, behave.
Mikey Lewis.
Sam, Jez.
Eden, this one drifting away from Greg Eden, and he gathers it well. Kane Lynette following up.
Back. Hold, not early, Sam. Wait. Go on.
Well, they're handling this period now with Liam Watt still off the field. He's just stood up on the sideline a minute or two before he's back on the field, but they've managed to manage this game. Jacob Miller, along with his forwards, doing a decent job.
Andy Last is the Castleford Tigers coach. He is now the Castleford Tigers coach officially. And Andy, on the sideline, you must be really pleased with what your side has come up with so far in the first 35 minutes.
Yeah, really pleased. I thought we started the game with great intent and the ball movement was excellent. It caused Hull KR a lot of problem. And then, unfortunately, we just made a couple of errors again, which put pressure on us. But I think the way that we're defending has been outstanding. And I think we've done a great job on, obviously, Jordan Abdul's kicking game. So hopefully we can continue that for the second 40.
And not a bad job defending with only 12 players on the pitch so far.
Yeah, we've had to get used to it. There's been a couple of occasions where we're down to 12, so it's something we've practiced, and the boys are obviously putting in an extra shift, and I'm sure Watsy will obviously respond when he gets back out there.
Andy, thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
Hasn't got long waiting on the sideline, Liam Watts. I hope that I haven't jinxed Castleford Tigers in that respect. Jacob Miller. Watts will be back very shortly. Minchella. Kenny Edwards can't deny him the offload. Parcell, tackled by Milner. Referee calls held. 5th tackle. It's a dribbling kick, and Eden is equal to that.
Yeah, good pick-up, wasn't it?
He's brought his hands with him
very
tonight.
good, hasn't it?
Could have been dangerous, that.
Excellent. In wet conditions, obviously we look at the towering kicks and we think, oh, they're difficult to deal with. But the ones on the ground are just as bad. Cass get a penalty coming away from their own half. Big Sam Luckley goes over the top of Alex Mellor.
Liam Watts is on the field now.
I don't know whether he's hurt himself, Sam Luckley.
Oh, he has. He's in a bit of strife. Arm. Has it smacked his forearm?
Arm, head.
I think it's head clash, isn't it?
Knee, ankle. One of them. I think.
You missed your vocation, didn't you, really?
I've had most injuries, Bill. That's usually how I can diagnose them.
Luckily, still getting treatments. The former Newcastle Thunder and Wolves End Eagle player. So Watts back on. The Castleford Tigers survive that phase of the game, and they've survived the first half pretty comfortably, haven't they? I mean, there's that Ryan Hall no try. Here's Broadbent drifting through the first line of the Robins defence and then losing it. The ball slipping from his grasp.
Yeah, it was a steal, wasn't it? And Jack Broadbent used his footwork. Dangerous when he runs, and Matt Parcell strips the ball, it goes backwards. That's why Hull KR can have possession. He doesn't spew out forwards. Get through this set of 6, Andy Last. They'll be hoping for. He gives them some direction at half-time.
Adam Milner's been good. That's his 25th tackle of the first half, the number 16 for Cass.
Mikey Lewis juggling the ball. There's an ooh from the Rovers, the Hull KR supporters at this side of the field. He kept going, he made some yards. He's put Hull KR on the front foot here as half-time approaches. Can they find a way through? Lewis arrives to make the kick. They let it bounce. They let it bounce.
Oh, they've knocked on Cass. They've knocked on. There was enough jerseys there in the Cass colours to get that ball. Look, there you go. Greg Eden, he's got to go for that. He's got Joel Westerman coming back towards the try line. He's got Tate, he's got Faraimo. He's got to come forward and jump for that. He's dealt with everything before that.
It's not just the fact that he's the fullback, it's the fact that he's the only one facing forward. He can come forward rather than struggle to deal with it like Beretta Faraimo.
The first error at the back in dealing with kicks from Castleford Tigers, and it could prove costly. I think it is, as Sean Kenny down. He's bundled into touch. What great defence from the Castleford Tigers. It looked for a moment as though Hull KR had a number on them. Willie Peters heads downstairs and knows a big opportunity has gone begging there.
John Wilkin was talking before the game about turning up for your teammates. When the ball goes away from you, your job's not done. Faraimo was beat. They come across, it's Jordan Turner, and I commented last week how good he was at Salford, shoring up that left edge. Massive defence, massive play.
Stirring stuff for the Castleford Tigers supporters from their side. Hull KR went into this game pretty strong favourites after their recent exploits, looking for 5 wins in a row, but at the moment it's the Castleford Tigers who have the upper hand. They lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, new head coach of Castleford, Andy Last, promised some solid defence and over time some more expansive attack. We may see the latter, we have certainly seen the former. What a first 40 minutes from the home side. They lead 6-0 courtesy of Jacob Miller's early try. We're going to analyse what you have just seen in the company of Phil Clark and John Wilkin after this.
I'm delighted to announce that Sky Sports have confirmed that they'll be showing both the men's and the women's mid-season internationals.
Walker gets the first try of the game.
Hardcastle will not be stopped.
Amy Hardcastle, you're modelling the New England jersey, being inspired by Rob Burrow and the MND Association.
Absolutely amazed by it. It takes a lot of memories back to 2012.
It's exciting news for the international game.
The amount of people that came and supported the World Cup was just unbelievable.
International belief, you've got to grab those opportunities with both hands.
A new era for the women's and men's teams of England, and they will be in action for the first time under new coach Stu Barrow. The England women, that is, against France. 1:30 p.m. Sky Sports Arena next Saturday, and then Sean Wayne will lead his troops into action against Laurent Fregenou's French side. 4:15 p.m. again on Sky Sports Arena from the Halliwell Jones Stadium. We're at the Mendehouse Jungle, and after 40 minutes, it's the Tigers with a 6-0 lead, courtesy of Jacob Miller's try. We have also had Liam Watts in the sin bin for 10 minutes after a late hit. Some news from the dressing rooms. Paul McShane, in a positive move for the Castleford Tigers, has passed his HIA. You can see him just to the left of animated new head coach Andy Last. And if we go into the Hull KR dressing rooms, I can bring any of their fans watching this to good news that Jordan Abdul, who you would have seen taken from the field in the first half, has passed his HIA as well. Willoughby Peters delivering his final few messages to his side that must climb back from this 6-0 deficit if they want to continue what has been a tremendous start to the Betfred Super League season. Castleford on their way out. Hull KR already out here and ready. Time for us then to go back to our commentary team of Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor and Bill Arthur.
Thanks, Brian. Castleford Tigers coming out, holding on grimly to a 6-0 lead. The jungle hasn't been one of Hull KR's happiest hunting grounds. They suffered a 32-0 defeat on their last visit. In fact, they've won on 2 of their last 10 visits to the Mendehouse Jungle. And their last win on this ground came on May the 17th, 2021. Jordan Abdul scoring a late try for a 26-22 win after they'd been 14 behind. So...
Yeah, you can set it up. Oh, yeah, sweet. Yeah, I've got you, Chris. Thank you. Spud. Time,
McShane ready to get the second half underway. Well, let's go to the sidelines, because we can talk to the Hull KR coach Willie Peters. Willie, what was the message to the side before they came out?
Oh, we're getting beaten every area at the moment, Bill. We're hurting ourselves. We're ill-disciplined. Yeah, we're definitely not the team that we've been the last few weeks. So the positive is that we're only 6 behind. We're probably fortunate that Cass has made a few errors as well. So yeah, we're only 6 behind, but we need to play a lot better to win this game.
What's the big focus early on here then?
Oh, I think it's just getting them in a bit of a cycle, and once we started to do that, they started to fatigue a little bit, but we didn't do it for long enough. So we just need to lock them in a cycle and then start to fatigue them a bit, and I'd like to see us play a little bit more with the ball as well.
Willie, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thanks, Bill.
Good of you. Right at the start of the second half, Andy Last before the interval. And there you go, Hull KR coach Willie Peters. What a game it is. Jordan Abdul then launches the first one of the second half. Eden comes for it and is hammered as he went for that ball. Was he hammered fairly? Well, Eden looks upset at that.
Well, it's a genuine contest, isn't it? Greg Eden, he's got eyes on the ball. It's Lachlan Coote, his opposite, who goes for it.
That is exceptional from Lachlan Coote. He does absolutely everything right. We talk about putting your body on the line, making sure that you're the right side of that thin balance. His side need him.
10 seconds. 10, come on.
So Willie Peters and his side have what they want right at the start of the second half. They've got the Castleford Tigers on the back foot, and now they can put some pressure on them. The Tigers virtually on their own try line as that ball is played. And here's Sam Luckley. Joins the Robins from Salford. And Matt Parcell. Parcell to Jordan Abdul. Kane Lynette powering onto the ball. He's lost it. And I can imagine Willie Peters will be fuming.
Do you know, it's very difficult to catch in this good ball sort of area when you're near the line. Willie Peters shakes his head. Very difficult to catch a ball at the line when you've got defenders stood in front of you. You can see what Jordan Abdul's trying to do. Get those defenders interested, get him a one-on-one. Unfortunately, they lose possession.
They've let him off the hook again.
Absolutely they have, but there's 2 Cass players involved in that tackle. One of them is Adam Milner. I've mentioned him a few times already. Is that him on the ball? I think it is. He's carting the ball up. He breaks the Super League record for most appearances for Castleford. He takes over from Michael Shenton, 2.79 for that hard-working back rower this evening. Well done.
Here is Kenny Edwards. 4 tackles gone. They're just inside Hull KR territory, and they do only lead by 6 points to 0. It's a slender margin of advantage for this Castleford Tigers side, who've won only twice this season. They've lost 7. Now then, Hull KR getting a taste of their own medicine. Ryan Hall is underneath one. The ball is batted back. It's still on the last. It's Watts. It's over the top. It's to Mahefanua. Oh, what? He's been touched. That was a golden opportunity.
It's touch.
Yeah. Good defence, wasn't it?
Outside the 10. Make it.
Great defence. Upper check.
What a signing he's been.
I remember talking to Willie Peters about when he was coming over and he was putting his team together, and he made a big deal that he wanted to bring this man to East Hull. Said he was that good and he could change his side. Well, that's a big play on a big man, Mahefanua.
Mahefanua knows that was a golden opportunity.
And you're right, Tez, because he's such a big man, Mahefanua, he almost nonchalantly put the hand out, expecting to overpower his opponent, and he's been good both sides of the ball in every time he's worn the Robin shirt this season.
It is 6-0. They have had opportunities, Castleford. Are they going to rue these missed opportunities?
Do you know, Bill, they need to knock off a few of them, don't they? Because this Cas side, this whole KR side, are used to winning games, used to fighting out, used to toughing games out and coming up with the results. So they'll be the one that won't be panicking at the minute. But for Cas, they've got to get a score or 2 more.
4. Release, can it go 4?
They're not great at scoring in this period of the game. They have not been that prolific all game, in actual fact, the Castleford Tigers.
No, but if you want to talk about numbers, it's the second time that they've nilled an opponent at home. The previous time was against Wakefield when they got one of the 2 wins.
The kick is claimed by the chasing Coot, but he couldn't keep possession. And it's back in the hands of Greg Eden with a bit of relief from the Castleford Tigers. That high kick, and the second one, caused chaos.
Yeah, look, these kicks are absolutely horrendous to deal with. But if you're in the Cas shirt, whether you're a fullback, a winger, a back rower, you've got to try and get to that ball. You can't let the opposition's fullback get to it. You're treading a real fine line there.
Hull KR, 4 consecutive wins to their name, a decade since they won 5 consecutive Super League matches. They've got a bit of work to do here, but it is not beyond them.
Nothing's aft. Kick pressure. Go.
Kenny Edwards on the last, and Jacob Miller gets the kick pressure, gets the kick away. Coots calm underneath it. Oh, Fanua came swinging.
There's been a couple of times, haven't they? They've gone through the set. They get to the kick, tackle one, give a penalty away. Is it swinging arm over the top of Lachlan Coot, Mahefanua? Do you know what?
I tell you
just
what.
Let's play on. Let's play on. If you're a Hull KR fan or you're a Hull KR player, you want that penalty, but
well, it's given Hull KR another opportunity. Here is James Batchelor. Now Luckley. Edwards. Westerman trying to stop his progress, but they're inching towards that Castleford Tigers try line. Now it's with Coot. Coot short ball to Batchelor. Back in the side. He missed the game against Saints last week. James Batchelor, and he plays the ball, and it is with Coot, and Coot onto Parcell, and Parcell to Minchella. Jordan Abdul, and they're going to go to Mikey Lewis, and Mikey Lewis and Corey Hall. Corey Hall will get the try. Ryan Hall denied. Corey Hall will not be. First for his new club. He's got 2 this season for Wakefield, and that's is a price that Castleford Tigers were going to have to pay at some point if they're not going to take their chances. Well, Hull KR will eventually, and Corey Hall has done just that.
Yeah, well, Maher at the other end of the field can't get over the line, and then Maher, the man who's penalised there for the attempted high shot on Lachlan Coote, and Corey Hall, well, involved in that swap deal with Will Dagger. He leaves Wakefield down the road, gets an opportunity at Hull KR, and let me tell you, this youngster, I think he's got a real bright future in the game. Quality player that he is, getting on the back of Jordan Abdul and Mikey Lewis's work, gets outside, I think it's Alex Mellor, and goes in for his first try in the Robins colours.
It's a really smart piece of centre play, just 20 years of age. Everybody knows the threat that Ryan Hall has, so automatically defenders are thinking, we've got to front up, we've got to make sure we're physical on Ryan Hall when he gets the ball. Corey Hall knows that and uses it to his advantage. Beautiful show and goal from the young man.
His first try then in Hull KR colours for Corey Hall. 2 tries for Wakefield. It actually makes him Wakefield's top try scorer this season. Wow. But headed for Hull KR, as Terry said, Will Dagger going in the opposite direction. Now then Coote with this to level the scores. Master goal kicker Lachlan Coote on target with that one. 6 points apiece it is.
You know, Tez, you made a great point about Hull KR's ability to absorb that pressure. The muscle memory in 2023 is being in tough, close, tight contests and digging in and waiting until the precise moment to pounce. That's exactly what Corey Hall did. Waited until the precise moment. He showed, he went, he scored a try.
Once of the Hillsborough Hawks, Corey Hall. Sheffield club. And his try, and that Coote goal has levelled things up. And that might be the lighting of this blue touch paper for the blue-shirted Hull KR.
They're 3 good carries then for Hull KR with another set restart. Very low risk, isn't it?
I sense that they're going to build now.
Yeah.
You get that feeling.
Well, it's who responds better. Again, look, it's just too quick, isn't it, Minchella?
Here's Matt Parcell. Slithers to the ground. 4 tackles gone. Abdul, little chip kick over the top. Lynette is chasing it. Safe hands from Beretta Faraimo as he goes back. Slippy on this surface, but he made that one secure.
And that's what Willie Peters was talking about when we spoke to him just after half-time. Finish your sets in the right way, kick to corners, and make Castleford work hard. You can hear the crowd underneath us, Bill. You can hear the belief in the crowd, and you can sense the belief in the players.
Yeah, it's almost like a home game, the support they've got here, Hull KR. And here is Westerman. Westerman, gets the ball away despite the hit from Lynette. Westerman is stuck out, I think.
He's out, Bill. I think it was Kane Lynette who met. And hopefully he's okay. His legs are moving, so hopefully that's good signs. Andy Last. He'll be getting some messages down about the intensity that the opposition playing against him tonight. Hull KR came out of the dressing rooms at half-time. And it's an important conversation that coaches have with players. They're fixing up things they didn't like and they want to change in that first half. They've seen what their opponents are throwing at them.
So, in the first half,
they're working out how to counteract the threats that their opposition bring.
And they'll be hoping, won't it, Andy Last, that Joe Westerman's okay to continue. Get some attention, as you can see, from physio doctor. He's done his apprenticeship for me, Andy Last. 23 years he served at Hull. Coached the likes of Gareth Ellis, Stephen Kearney, Craig Fitzgibbon, head of youth as well. Signed, actually, Jordan Abdul, who's now playing for Hull KR. The likes of Brad Fash, Litton and Lane.
It's going to be a penalty.
So he's got an opportunity now to coach this side and build a side as well with 14 players off contract at the end of the year. There you go, the signal from the sideline. He's going off for the HIA. Big blow, big blow.
Player of the year for the Castleford Tigers last year, Joe Westerman.
And takes care. He's typically the man who gets it first and will do that first pass, and you can see it's just a clumsy challenge, isn't it? There's nothing in that. There's a head clash.
That's a good tackle for me. It's not a shoulder charge. He's looking to wrap his arm around him. It's just solid contact. Absolute solid contact. I think it's a tough call.
But again, I'm going to say something I said in the first half. When players are going into tackles now, if there's a reckless element to it, they'll get penalised.
Every tackle's reckless.
I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you.
Wow.
We're vigorously agreeing with each other.
On this dotted line. Dotted line.
Penalty as the game resumes. Castleford Tigers, Westerman off the field for a head injury assessment. There is Jordan Turner, Sean Kenny-Dowell not letting him go anywhere.
2 balls, mate. Tackle on. 2 balls. Stand up.
2 balls on the pitch briefly. One over the far side of the field is removed by Ryan Hall. Play resumes. So 6 points apiece.
2, go.
Minchella ordered to release his man,
Clear.
Watts. And that ball's been spilled. And Coote will return it.
Well, Mikey Lewis, I think, is not the biggest. He had a bit of a running in the first half, didn't he? Adam Milner and Mikey Lewis. He stands his ground and hits Milner and just forces that error.
Hold, wait, go.
Like we said earlier, any collision, any contact around that ball, it's difficult for the man who's got it in these conditions, greasy conditions.
Zopacic playing the ball. Here's Sam Luckley now.
2.
And almost up to that Castleford Tigers 40-metre line as Luckley plays the ball. Abdul, on it goes to Lewis. Here is Corey Hall. Hall does well to offload that to Lewis. Lewis can't play the ball as quickly as he wanted to. Abdul puts a little kick in, it ricochets, and it's picked up by McShane. And the Castleford Tigers survive again. Let's go down to the sideline and hear from John Wells.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Just quickly, it's all action here, isn't it? Joe Westerman has been brought to the sideline. The doctor has immediately ruled him out for the rest of the game, so he'll play no further part in this match. Joe Westerman, straight off the pitch, failed HIA, will not play on.
That is a blow for the Castleford Tigers. Joe Westerman so integral to their efforts. That's a knock-on from the Castleford Tigers, only about 12 metres away from their own try line.
Yeah, big blow from Will Tate, makes the error. And just going back to the Joe Westerman, they won't even do it. I don't think he'll even do a HIA. The doctor will look at how that Joe Westerman hit the ground. Was he out? And they say, nah, no more tonight. And Will Tate, look, manhandled. The ball spews out. And that's what it means to the man who's involved in that challenge on Joe Westerman.
It was the mechanism of his fall, wasn't it? Westerman, you knew straight away there was damage done.
Shot clock off.
6 points apiece it is. Really edgy contest. The crowd hushed at the moment. Corey Hall comes back in field. Watts came shooting out the line to make the tackle. Here's Matty Staunton now. Rovers bang in front of those posts about 10 metres away. Parcell to Minchella. He's held, says the referee. 3 tackles gone. Short pass. Lynette storming onto it. Good work from Liam Watts to stop his progress. Parcell, and is there a knock on there?
Yeah, it's a good game, this, isn't it?
Great game.
Bubbling away, seesawing.
It's probably not, you know, from the purist point of view, there are errors.
Well, what do the purists want? We want a tight, close contest, don't we? A bit of an arm wrestle, some to-in and fro-in. Danny Maguire and Willie Peters getting some messages. And again, it's about calmness under pressure.
Oh, Lawler almost went without it. Is Mahifenua now.
But you can't let your ego grow and say, give me this ball. You need to run in numbers, and as they did when it was good for Cass in the first half, use the ball, go to the edges to find momentum.
Soia Matangi on the ball there. Here's Kenny Edwards now. 4 tackles gone.
Go, 4, well done.
Jordan Turner, Jacob Miller scoops that ball up, his broad bend. Away they go to Will Tate, and then Tate to Beretta Faraimo. Strong winger, manages to keep the ball alive and find Greg Eden. Eden, the pass to Liam Watts. Watts thought about keeping things going. Minchella made sure he couldn't do that. That's the 5th tackle. Now then, what will Miller come up with here? A deep kick. And Coote has plenty of time underneath that. What's the chase like? There's a bit of a disagreement in back play between Minchella and Miller. Doesn't amount to very much, but Minchella put pressure on Miller at that kick. Miller didn't like it.
Players are into each other all over the place, aren't they?
Again, there's nothing wrong with that. He's done that really well all night, Elliot Minchella. Took time and space away.
It's Friday night, under the lights. They're here from Hull KR. It's 6 points apiece. This is entertainment.
Well, Hull KR sent on the heavyweights. The starting props in George King and Reece Kennedy. They know how tough it's getting now. Big 24 minutes is what's needed from both sides.
Jordan Abdul. Booming kick. Eden comes to meet it. Eden gathers it. And then finds Mahifenua.
It's a great tactic the Hull KR has, isn't it?
Hand off.
It's like a steel rod, isn't it, as he's handed them off. But my point on Jordan Abdul is, don't Hull KR just rely on that big kick and big chase.
Set restart. Mahifenua's got a poke in the eye, I think. He's getting some attention. Soia Matangi now. He's back in the side, having missed the last game against the Salford Red Devils. Liam Watts winding up for a run towards that Hull KR line. 3 tackles gone. It's with Miller. Miller. Now Eden. Eden fires the pass. And I tell you what, Fenua did well there to gather that ball, and he almost slithered over the try line. Turner. Miller, 4 tackles gone as Lawler steps and is then brought down. That's the 5th tackle. And Miller poised to maybe hang one. No, he goes for 1 point and is on target.
Well, the set-up play from Paul McShane. He was either going to try and force another set of 6, but he thought, no, I've got a clear call from Jacob Miller. He's the player that's going to organise this team and hopefully direct his troops for a win for those home fans. And they get that 1 point, and it's just enough. It just edges the scoreboard in their favour.
I really like that from Jacob Miller. They haven't had hardly anything to play with in the first quarter of this second half. So he's got down there, first chance he's got. He's made... Oh! And then they make a mistake from the kick-off.
Well, it's a good kick, isn't it? But you've got to be aware of this situation. We've seen this a number of times. You see the arms go out from Jacob Miller. It goes between Mahifenua and Kenny Edwards. And that's frustrating, that, if you're Andy Last.
It's going to be more than frustrating if Hull KR can capitalise on that, because they are in possession and only a few metres away from that Castleford Tigers try line. And that 1 point lead could be very brief indeed. Here's Kane Linnett. And they've got some defending to do again, have the Castleford Tigers. Here is Elliot Minchella. Minchella, it comes to Coote. Coote puts the brakes on. McShane makes the tackle. They're keeping him at bay of the Tigers at the moment. Parcell. It comes to Minchella. Minchella. Short ball finds Kennedy. Kennedy plays the ball. Matt Parcell! Parcell stretches out. Frustration for the Castleford Tigers. They conceded possession right from the restart, and they've conceded the try. And it's Matt Parcell, his first of the season, to put Hull KR ahead for the first time tonight, coming up to the hour mark. And what a disaster that is for the Castleford Tigers, but of their own making.
What quality from Hull KR. And what an absolute disaster, isn't it, for the home side. Look at the decision. 3 players are in. The last player to go in is the first player out, George Lawler. He's not in the defensive line. The hooker knows that, and Matt Parcell thinks there's space for me, there's a gap for me, and I'm having a try. You can see he goes back. Markers, you wouldn't normally have 2 markers that close to the line. You'd want to make sure that there is a united front facing somebody as dangerous as Matt Parcell, and he's too good of a player not to take that chance.
In his 5th season with Hull KR, Matt Parcell. And a dream team member back in his Leeds Rhinos days, 2017, former Manly and Brisbane hooker. Now Lachlan Coots to extend the Hull KR advantage. .23 goals to his name so far this season, Coots. There's another one. 7 points to 12, the scoreline now.
Well, Matt Parcell in his 5th season at Hull KR, he's just quick out of dummy half, isn't he? Beats the markers, gets in between the markers and the air defender. The Hull KR fans loving it. No, it's a cruel game, isn't it? Jacob Miller knocks over the 1 point. They get set for the restart. They let it go out, then concede a try. Got to do it tough now, Cass.
Tez, I'm convinced if they had the time again, Cass Tigers, they'd leave Kennedy stood up. They wouldn't attempt to get him down to the ground, and they'd present that united try-line defence. Good shot, isn't it?
Ryan Hall stopped in his tracks. I'll tell you what, Liam Watts has been putting himself about, hasn't he? With Westerman off the field.
He always does. You wouldn't expect anything less. He's another former Hull KR player. He's 5 in the Castleford ranks.
Sin-binned already tonight. He's been sin-binned on a frequent basis. Is this a 40-20? It is. Wow. It is a 40-20.
You know, when the tables turn, they do it in a dramatic style, don't they? From scoring the try, the confidence that's lifted in Willie Peters' men. Jordan Abdul, not really under much pressure, kicks that ball, big boot, 40-20, straight on the attack now.
And straight on the attack they are. Banging on that door again, looking for back-to-back tries with Mikey Lewis trying to worm his way through. They managed to stop his progress. But Castleford Tigers on the back foot now, on the rack. As Dean Hadley tackled just short of the try line. Parcell, Jordan Abdul, Kane Lynette. They were waiting for Lynette's. Will Tates and Broadbent. Abdul stabs a little kick in. Oh, wonderful hands from McShane. Fingertip touch from the Castleford Tigers hooker.
Yeah, great pickup, wasn't it? Just need a bit of speed now around this ruck, and the first few plays, which Hull KR done a decent job of dominating and slowing that first play down. Again, getting numbers in, 4 players in, which makes it really difficult to play the ball quickly.
Great contest here at the Mendahoes Jungle. Castleford Tigers have missed some opportunities, and they could well end the night ruining those missed opportunities. 18-6 now. Lee are ahead, having kicked a penalty goal to extend their leads. Fanua playing the ball. On the last, Miller gets the kick away. Miller taken late, according to the Castleford Tigers supporters.
Yeah, you're right, Bill.
And there's a penalty.
I think that one, unlike maybe 6 or 7 occasions before that, no attempt to tackle.
Oh, it's Hadley, pretty Just came in from the side and left Miller flat on his back.
Big opportunity for Cass now, isn't it? Big opportunity.
Well, both these teams have been very generous to the opposition and giving them opportunities in decent areas. And the Castleford Tigers now have a chance to hit back. Strong run from Matangi. Here's Broadbent trying to step back in field, but Kane Lynette made the initial tackle. McShane barking out instructions. Matangi once more, on it comes to Miller. Miller lobs the ball over the top to Fanua. Fanua will try and bulldoze his way through the ranks of the Rovers' defence. Here's Miller once more. Matangi. That's the 5th tackle. And they're 10 metres away, bang in front of those posts. It's Broadbent. Eden, little kick coming in. Hall, that was so cool from Ryan Hall.
Do you know what though, Bill, there's no panic on that when they were attacking Hull KR's left edge. You just watch how they map off. They don't overcommit. They don't try and jam in and solve the problems. They work as a unit, which then enables Ryan Hall probably to get a decent call from the fullback Lachlan Coote that he's okay to let the ball run dead.
And that is important, is it? Ryan Hall has his back to the player who's up behind him, but the fullback is constantly talked to him. Lachlan Coote, with all that experience, it's like having an extra coach on the field.
Here's Kane Lynette. Into the final quarter of the game, and Hull KR holding a 12-7 lead. Mikey Lewis, spiky Mikey. Here's Kane Lynette. Jez Litton out there. There's Jordan Abdul. Abdul. George King. He's 10 metres away when he's tackled. That's the 5th. Abdul. They're going to run it. They're going to run. Oh, Corey Hall had a second chance in his eyes just for a moment there. It was there.
It was.
And then it went.
It was. He gets through the line, does all the hard work. But desperate defence, wasn't it, from Cass? But he opens up for Willie Peters.
Almost an identical situation to his first try, wasn't it?
There was pressure on the ball. I'm suggesting it was a snatch or a pull, but Cass did just enough to put him off, Corey Hall.
It's a big let-off for the Castleford Tigers. That looked like a little nudge from McShane. The eagle-eyed Hull KR supporters certainly thought they'd spotted something. Here's Miller now. Eden, Jordan Turner. Castleford Tigers very much in the hunt in this game. Here's Eden once more. Kenny Edwards. Hull KR keeping the shape. Edwards manages to offload to McShane. McShane, back it goes to Eden, but Eden is well wrapped up. Good work from Reece Kennedy to stop his progress. 4 tackles gone as Jacob Miller has possession, but Miller down low was James Batchelor. McShane lofts the kick. Coote comfortable underneath that.
Well, this game, that's the only still to be won, isn't it? It's still to be won.
Jacob Miller takes that tackle. He should almost be pulling himself, waiting for the last tackle. He's the only decent kicker in that part of the field for Cass. But again, wonderful goal line defence from Hull KR.
Great contest this between the sides, 10th in the table, the Castleford Tigers, and 3rd place, Hull KR. There were some who thought Hull KR would run away with this. Miller, that's a big hit.
Yeah, big shot, wasn't it, from Jacob Miller?
It was on Coote.
Yeah, he's hurt again.
Well, this would be a shame. Well, obviously, he's caught somewhere he shouldn't have done. Jacob Miller on Lachlan Coote. And again, head, whiplash, jolt.
And he said earlier on, I mean, Lachlan Coote's gone public with his concern about the number of concussions he has had. Oh, just a...
Well, that's...
Two men of similar stature.
Yeah, that's late footwork from a very talented, well-balanced player. And the defender's flat-footed. It's an accidental clash of heads. They're very polite rugby league players, aren't they? Excuse me, sir. I think he's banged his nose and I've cut my lip.
He's going off for the HIA.
Yeah, well, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
11 minutes, finish up.
They'll need him at the back end of this game. Just 11 or so minutes left.
You know, the knocks that he's had, there's still no self-preservation from him, whether he's catching the ball under some pressure or returning the ball.
Just wait. It's going to be 5. Just got to wait till he gets
Willie
off.
Peters now. Got a big 10 minutes or so to see if he can get that man back on the field to defend that try line.
Defend that lead.
Timer come, play it. Go, 5.
Play resumes. Coote leaves the field. Abdul. Greg Eden gets the help of the Hull KR supporters in dealing with that kick.
Oh, who'd be a fullback? I tell you, the ball is swirling all over the place and you've got thousands of people and I put you off.
It looks like Mikey Lewis has gone to fullback for Hull KR. Well, surely Jacob Miller will be testing him out early on. If they can get some decent field position to get a ball up in the air, there'll be a contest.
Matangi playing the ball just on the halfway line. Here is Lawler trying to skip away, but Kane Lynette would not let him go. Makes the tackle. 4 gone.
Okay, through.
Miller
Okay, pulls up short still.
to Broadbent.
Off the chest. 5. Move, Jay! Hold
Lynette and Litton doing the tackle. Miller.
Clear.
Another big towering kick. Sean Kenny-Dowell clutches that to his chest as the Castleford Tigers in the shape of Kenny Edwards threatened.
Well, they needed to test out Mikey Lewis. They kicked it to one of the most experienced players in a Hull KR jersey in Sean Kenny-Dowell, who had no problem taking it.
Aren't they blessed with some terrific leaders within the Hull KR ranks?
Go free.
He knew exactly what to do, Sean Kenny-Dowell.
Here's Corey Hall. Hall. Long striding runner. 4 tackles gone as he's brought down on that Castleford Tigers 40-metre line. Now then, here's Dean Hadley.
5. Away, George! Knock it on the kick.
5th tackle.
Go, 5.
And they're going to run it now. They're running it and they're finding touch with the pass. Jordan Abdul couldn't reach his man.
Well, still were they going to be turning the ball over. They choose to run it.
I'm not sure whether he overcomplicated that.
No,
Jordan Abdul.
Beretta Faraimo, he'd shot in, hadn't he?
Kane Lynette was free. So the next player along, the short pass, the simple option might have been the better one.
Inside the last 10 minutes. And Hull KR holding on to a 12-7 lead. Not too convincingly, you'd have to say. Oh, Eden juggling with that ball.
Hold, wait, go free.
There is Kenny Edwards. Ches Litton sticking to his task. Batchelor there as well to stop Kenny Edwards' progress. There's Jordan Turner. Turner into the middle of the field to Lawler. Lawler drives it up to that Hull KR 40-metre line. That's the 5th tackle.
Will Mikey Lewis get tested?
Somebody's going to. Sean Kenny-Dowell has lost that one.
Well, Sean Kenny-Dowell knows that Mikey Lewis is a little bit exposed. Says, stand back, lads, I've got that. And under the pressure of Cass, and Jordan Turner has done a lot of small things really well. Whether he's been carrying the ball forward and leaving defenders on the floor, or chasing hard from a kick, as he did on that occasion.
Experienced Sean Kenny-Dowell, 35 years of age. Had a glittering career and still a big presence in this Hull KR side. Lee have I think kicked another penalty. 20 points to 6 now. They are heading for victory in that game. Who is going to get the win here? Not Castleford
they're
Tigers.
offside. Hull KR are offside at the scrum.
That is a lucky break.
Yeah. Straight away, Marcus Griffiths has identified it. He's got the call from the touch judge over on the far side.
Just wait. Get the line.
Whoa, what a big chance this is now for the Castleford Tigers.
One more test for Hull KR. We've only had the line broken once so far.
Held, release. One. Hold.
Referee calls held. Here's Miller. Here's Eden. Eden, short ball for Turner, who's lost possession.
I'm applauding the goal line defence of Hull KR, and I think the difference between the Hull KR we've watched in previous seasons is this aspect of their game, this facet of their game is Willie Peters. They've always had the ability to play, they've had exciting players, but there is resolve in this part of the field, and look at the celebrations from the players. They know every time Cass have come near, they've had to front up.
So many opportunities Castleford Tigers have had in the course of this game.
Do you know, if but to maybes, and that's what it's been about Cass in this game. But credit Hull KR for forcing the error and forcing the pace of the game as well at times, and another strong carry.
I think they forced it at half-time, didn't they, Tez? They came out with a much different attitude at half-time.
They're leading, albeit narrowly, at Hull KR. They're looking for 5 wins in a row. They haven't tasted defeat since March the 17th against the Catalan Dragons, this Hull KR side. They are 3rd in the table. They'll be getting vertigo at this rate, the Hull KR supporters. And Abdul will make that one safe, drilling it down the sidelines. Almost a great kick. It just seemed to curve back in field.
It is the perfect kick for what they're wanting, pinning them in the corners.
He was looking for the sideline though then, wasn't he?
I don't think he was.
20 points to 6, full-time score at Lee Sports Village. Another scalp for the Lee Leopards. It's for Rimo playing the ball.
What a turnaround for Hull KR. Finished 8th last year. 1 point behind Castleford, who was 7th, and the feel-good factor in the side. But for me, I'm looking at Cass and where they are in the league and just a couple of wins that they've got. But there's been improvements.
So Mahe Fanua tries to get away. Tom Opicic clinging onto him. Dying swan from Mahe Fanua. Miller, another big kick. Now then, will they deal with this one? Yes, they will. Mikey Lewis and Castleford Tigers also offside, so that is a big relief.
You know, the ref was calling that. He called it, is it Paul McShane just offside? Is that the man that is penalised?
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't he pass the ball? So you can understand why the referee thinks Paul McShane's offside. It's very close on our replay. He's not sure.
Inside the last 5 minutes, Hull KR not been at their best tonight, but they're on course for a hard-earned victory. Looking for a penalty there for a high shot on Dean Hadley. Marcus Griffiths, the referee, giving them nothing. Here is Minchella.
2 away, Paul, get square. Wait, George.
Here's Parcell. It's with Jordan Abdul. The Hull KR supporters celebrating. Mikey Lewis will take, getting a hold of his former teammates to make the tackle. Well, you can't win every game glamorously, and this has been a gritty performance from Hull KR. Another facet of them maybe this season.
We said it last week when Salford played against Castleford. Sometimes you've got to win ugly. When teams are desperate, fighting for survival, fighting for points in the league. No matter what happens, you've just got to try and come up with your best performance.
On the last, little chip kick over the top. The ball is gathered, and Corey Hall is offside, I think.
I think it's Kane Lynette.
No, I don't need to.
Marcus Griffiths quickly bursting that bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's miles in front. He's the furthest person. He's within the 10.
I think he goes to Sam Luckley at first, thinking that was Kane Lynette. They look similar.
I tell you what, you have to be on the ball, don't you?
Hey, time off.
Penalty.
Just so impressed with the way that Hull KR were outplayed in that first half, and they've come out and had a very different attitude and found a way to win, and probably won through the defence as much as anything.
Penalty that has allowed Castleford Tigers to at least get up to the 40-metre line, and maybe in the last couple of minutes here to try and find a way through, to try and snatch this game. Oh, but not like that, they won't. And it's Hull KR breaking away with Tom Opacic. Opacic not tackled yet. And that's the last opportunity, you feel, for this Castleford Tigers side. And they have been guilty of that so many times tonight. Squandering possession. You can hear the Robins supporters saluting their side. Jordan Abdul taking him on himself.
I wonder if they'll just set up, get back to the middle, and then maybe knock over at 1 point.
Well, at the moment they're on that left edge. They're coming back to the middle of the field now with Minchella, but here goes Hadley.
Jordan Abdul, he just called for that sort of play then, although he's setting up over on the left.
Well, Minchella has stepped back. It is with Abdul. Abdul running it again. Corey Hall's going to try once more. The ball goes to ground. Abdul manages to salvage it. But if they want a point, it's going to have to be somebody else. It's on the last. And they'll just turn the ball over in that corner. Into the final 60 seconds. It's going to need something miraculous.
He wasn't happy. He wanted it to the man, whoever it would be then, instead of Ryan Hall to find the sideline, they were next to the sideline and kick it off the field. Don't give him a chance.
Kick chase, surely. Where's Greg Eden? Miller for Imo now. Hull KR desperately trying to slow things down. Kenny Edwards plays the ball. Miller, they've lost possession. They've lost the game, I think. They have now. That ball goes to ground once again. Second half has been a story of too many errors from this Castleford Tigers side. Hull KR have got their act together as their coach demanded in half-time. It has been hard work, but they've made it 5 in a row of Hull KR. That's some achievement for them. It has been hard work for them. A decade it is since Hull KR won 5 consecutive Super League matches. They've done it with this victory. They've made hard work of it at times. The Castleford Tigers, who were looking for their 3rd win of the season, have made them work hard for it. But we've seen great commitment from Willie Peters' side. Andy Last's reign as the new official Castleford Tigers coach. There's no winning start for him. Celebrations for Hull KR in the end. And they remain among the front runners in Super League on the back of this 12-7 victory.
Bill, Barry, Terry, thank you very much. As the temperatures dropped here at the Mendaho's Jungle, the action hotted up on the field and gripped our attention, Phil Clark, for 80 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose Castleford's problem has consisted over the course of this season. They're struggling to score enough points, can't get over the try line often enough to give themselves a chance. They defended admirably, they played with great spirit, but at the end of the day, their opponents just had a bit more class. And what they also had was a travelling army of support, of which I don't recall seeing for a while. There's something special. People doing very good things at Hull KR.
Plenty of backslapping for Willie Peters as he makes his way down from the coaching position to pitch side. He took an exhale of breath there. He said this wouldn't be easy. He knew what to expect. He wasn't wrong.
But yeah, Castleford really competed very hard, produced some of their best stuff maybe this year. But I really respect the character of this Hull KR team. Everybody's been saying how well they're doing. It's easy to fall into the trap and fall in love with yourself and produce a stinking performance here tonight. And I just feared that was going to be the case in the first half. But they produced a very competent second half performance. And they'll be delighted in that huddle to get over Castleford here tonight.
But it was never easy.
Oh no, it's tough all the way.
It was never. Castleford were never out of that game.
Not always in it, Brian.
But backing up a win as they beat St Helens last week, to come away to Castleford and back up that win here on a ground where they haven't been successful, they've got something special. Again, you can tell because of the travelling army of supporters and the spirit, the atmosphere around them at the moment. There's something going on at that club.
They are cheering their heroes as they make their way here to this huge group of Hull KR fans that, as you say, have made the way over. Phil, you picked player of the match. You picked who?